Okay, should be good morning. Should be able to see and also hear now. I got TradePhantoms.com site up. Good morning. Today is just kind of adjusting this here. Tuesday, July 30th. I'm your guide, your host, Mr. Blue, as they call me, with TradePhantoms.com. And this will be about, what, an hour session, give or take, just going over a couple of things pre-market of what it, kind of a sneak peek of what it's like in the live trade room, TradePhantoms.com. Good morning, Ethan, Aaron, Joseph. And it looks like we should be okay here. So we can dive into the charts. I try to make it as straight as possible here. All right, cool, dive in. Should be good there. All right, cool. Big week, Fed week. All right, that's going to be good there. All right, Fed week. Let's kick this off. So TradePhantoms.com, Mr. Blue, and let's get to it. I'll start here just really briefly, just to bring your attention to a couple of things that should be on the radar for yourselves for this week, starting with today being Tuesday. I'll blow this up a bit bigger here, but pretty simple website here, forexfactory.com. We do have some news today, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, we have S&P composite, some news here, but the big one here is going to be at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Eastern New York time here. Consumer confidence, that's a big one there. Okay, anything that has to do with the consumer, inflation, going to be a big news announcement having to do with what the Fed's going to be doing with the rates cuts, etc. Okay, jobs jolts, that's another big one there. Okay, for you currency traders, I love trading currency as well. We got Aussie CPI later tonight as well, and of course, just noteworthy as well, tomorrow being Wednesday, the 31st of July, we have the U.S. Federal Reserve rate, funds rate, and press conference, right? So they're expected to meet the FOMC. And there's a really cool website that the Phantoms team has. We have CMEgroup.com, Fed Watch tool, and we always reference this. Okay, as you can see, we're 1 day and day and a half away. All right, day and a half away, 2 trading days away here from it being Wednesday, or tomorrow, I should say. We have stuff to trade today as well. And we scroll down here. Okay, it gives you all the kind of dates of the next meetings, etc. Over here, if you scroll to the left, probabilities. Okay, based on Fed Fund futures, we can utilize this website here just to give us some insight of the probabilities of what the Fed may or may not do in terms of cutting or not cutting, cutting rates or not cutting. Okay, so September seems like it's pretty much, for the most part, priced in. This is and has been decreasing a little bit here. At one point, it was at 98%. Okay, I know after a while, you look at this website, it might be kind of overwhelming at first, but after you visit it and spend some time on it, you'll get the gist of it. This is just basically the Fed funds rate. So we're obviously at between 5.25, 5.5. Okay, so the first cut would be 5.5 to 5.25, and right now that's going to be essentially priced in for September 18th. So they're not expected to do anything this week, or tomorrow, I should say. But questions, and he's going to take questions and things like that, and people are going to pry him on seeing what that first cut would be, whether it be September, November, or December. So there's only 3 other meetings after tomorrow. Okay, so it's kind of getting down to the crunch time final stretch. So that's going to be a fairly big deal there. Anytime the Fed speaks and has a rate change or not, that's a big deal to the markets. Okay, so we'll continue here at S&P here on SPYs, but I'm going to start this off with futures here. Okay, if you're really new, just joining the live stream and not current Phantom member yet, welcome. And there's something that we talk a lot about. The main foundation of Phantoms is going to be supply and demand. Okay, demand and supply, institutional demand and supply, understanding the proper levels of demand and supply that the institutions create. Okay, so we can ride their coattails, and that's also going to be on a backdrop of what's called top-down multiple time frame analysis. Okay, so multiple time frame analysis. It's not just about one time frame; it's about multiple, and we always want to start from the top down. Meaning, I'm always looking at the monthly time frame first and foremost. So monthly, weekly, daily. Here's a quick little checklist for the Phantoms members, just to kind of kickstart their trade plan, etc. Okay, so I have orange, yellow, blue. I kind of color code certain things just in the charts, so I know exactly what levels mean which regarding timeframes, etc. So I'm not going to go through this whole thing here, but just to give you kind of a foundation here, this is a sheet that is I would probably say it's a very good resource. Okay, tuck it under your pillow, right, at night. We got bullish candlesticks. Okay, location being very critical. We talk a lot about that when we have more time. Okay, and live trade rooms and classes, etc. Bearish candlesticks, location being very critical. Okay, as always, location. And then at least personally myself, I've been trained as a market maker out in New York City. So I'm a market maker style of New York City style of trade. And this is what's called the liquidity map. Okay, so this is one of my favorite things on the planet. Phantoms members kind of know what this is, and this is going to give us kind of rules of engagement. Okay, how to execute. Okay, 4 types of executions: buy to enter, okay, sell to exit, okay, or sell short to enter, buy to cover to exit. So we have to know when buyers are coming in and when sellers are coming in. Okay, and there's 4 ways to go about it, and we kind of break that down here with more time. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do here is start off with the S&P future, or futures, I should say, the main indexes. So this is Thinkorswim. Okay, so I'm going to be referencing Thinkorswim here today. I'm going to start this off as mentioned, with the S&P upper left, NASDAQ upper right. We got Dow Jones lower left. Okay, we got the Russell 2000 bottom right. I'm going to blow this up so y'all can see it a little bit better here. I will say when I switch over to the darker background, you might be able to see the levels a bit more better. Okay, but I've been talking a lot about with the group here how we've been in this massive uptrend bull market. Okay, and we have now a deeper correction. Okay, last 2 weeks, give or take, have been markets have been coming down off highs. Okay, and that's normal. Okay, so you need healthy pullbacks. Okay, I'm not going to go too much in detail. I'm going to get down to the nitty gritty with levels in a moment. Okay, but as you can see here, we have a yellow box here, kind of ugly yellow on the backdrop of gray. Doesn't look too nice there. Then I have blue in here. So we have even though we are dropping down. Long story short, okay, on a major on a bigger pullback here. Okay, we have a lot of demand zones and good qualified demand zones as well, if I may add, down here deeper into this weekly demand area here. Okay, weekly and daily. Okay, so I'll drop that down in a moment. Into the smaller time frames, being the 60-minute time frame, and I'll mark out what's called the Globex traps, and that's going to be discussed in a moment. Okay, we also do have this was the first time in a long time where we had impulse correction, higher high, higher low, higher low, uptrend, higher high, higher low, impulse correction up, and then the dailies are actually giving us a bit, right? We have a move down into demand. Okay, we try to make correction here, try to make a new high equal to high, at least at a minimum making a new high right here. Okay, and we did not. Okay, so we failed to even test the all-time high, and then we made a new low. Okay, so the dailies are giving us a bit of a impulse correction, impulse, lower low, lower high. Okay, but we have to put that into perspective and make sure that we're following the hierarchy of the higher time frames. We have this massive weekly demand zone down here to reference. Okay, now the reason why I said and spent some time on this impulse correction, lower low, low, higher daily right here is because we do have some kind of supply here now that's putting left in the market. Okay, so you can see there's a couple of red lines here. You'll be able to see the prices in a moment on the backdrop of the darker background. I do apologize with the landscapers in the background there. Can't control that. So we do have some kind of daily supply in here that we need to absorb in the event that the macro bulls, bigger picture, macro, longer time frame trends want to continue. Okay. Now I can say the same thing for NASDAQ. Okay. All right. Starting from over here, just to give you the layout of it. Okay. Pretty simple over here. Bull market. Great. Okay. Then we had a deeper correction. Okay. FANG stocks, the Magnificent Seven, Apple, Google, Amazon, right? Had steeper pullbacks, Meta, steeper pullbacks coming off all-time highs. So that naturally brought the NASDAQ down, the tech sector. As you can see, we had a couple of demand zones here. All right, kind of got, kind of blown out a little bit here. Okay, a couple of demand zones here. All right, just bounces out here, then we created a new low. Okay, so we do have massive weekly demand down in here as well on the weekly time frames on NASDAQ futures. Okay, and again, I can say the same thing. We do have a bit of some supply areas here that's kind of left here on the back of this drop here that we would have to absorb, okay, for macro, again, same thing, macro bulls to potentially pick it up. So we could go lower, okay, before we go higher to dip into some liquidity down in here on the weeklies and monthly time frame demand, okay, and you can see there's a couple of prices here that you'll see in a moment that will help you navigate and refine inside of this area, okay, and we have some supply up here. All right, I'm not much of a Dow Jones guy. I'm more of a S&P specialist and NASDAQ. I love S&P and NASDAQ. I do love me some small caps too here and there. Okay, small caps are starting to get inflow here. Okay, but we have to, I'm talking a lot regarding about this with the Phantoms members. I need more time to discuss this. But I want to see if this inflow into small caps is going to be sustainable because every once in a while, you know, you'll get inflows of small caps and then it's kind of short-lived. Okay, and then it just dies back down. Okay, so I'm going to be keeping a thumb on the pulse on that going forward. The group. All right, now I'm going to switch this over into the darker background here, which might be easier to see. I tried to get that glare off the screen here, but I guess that's the best I can do here. So I got the monthly, Thinkorswim. I got monthly, weekly, daily here. Okay, monthly, weekly, daily. All right. What's going on, David T? Is that Super Dave? Is that Super Dave? My man, Super Dave. Switch this over to the S&P. Okay, S&P futures. So monthly on the left, weekly here in the middle, daily here on the right. Okay, so monthly, weekly, daily, always starting from top down, no matter what. I got the 60-minute time frame here, upper left. I got the 30-minute time frame here, bottom left. This is kind of my intermediate. Yes, sir. Good morning, brother. The intermediate middle time frame, if you will, right here on the left-hand side. And then I have the 5-minute here and the 2-minute time frame here on the right, and this is going to be representative of the smaller time frames. Okay, so we drill down and refine. Okay, I'm going to open up this 60-minute time frame here of the S&P futures. Okay, and one of the first things that we want to look for that could kind of just set the stage for your trading day regarding futures or stock options or even forex and currency is going to be what's called the Globex levels or Globex traps. Okay, so Globex traps is a very specific futures setup, and we talk a lot more about this, but just to get to the point here, talk a lot about this in classes. Let's see, but to get to the point here, this gray space in Thinkorswim is the overnight session here. Okay, so the regular trading hours is not open yet, right? 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York time. The market's stock market opens. That's known as regular trading hours. This is the overnight session. Okay, so I'm going to represent this low and high, Globex low, with these blue lines here. And the setup is in the event that it's basically a trap setup, okay? Basically a trap setup, which we have more time to discuss, obviously, in class, okay? But what you want to look for is a supply level, qualified supply level, okay? That we actually go through scoring systems and making sure that it's the proper supply level, okay? IBIs, etc. Okay, above Globex high. So anybody who's like trying to take breakout trades above Globex high, coming into supply, chasing price into a level of supply, this is where we would want to set up a bearish trade. And so I have 55.60 here as a price. I have 55.70 also here as a price of where in the event that markets, as for example, this is S&P futures, did rally up into these levels up here. Okay, this would be an area where we could, at a minimum, if we're long, take profit. Okay, and then this would be an area where we could potentially take a short off of here. Okay, we also have another one up here, 5600. Okay, and 5625. Okay, S&P futures. Now, if I just reference the higher time frame first for a moment, okay, what we want to do is have multiple time frame alignment. Okay, so long story short, if you can see these little red lines right here, this was the first one at 55.60 and 55.70, but the 5600, the one up here, is going to be deeper into this daily supply level. Okay, so this is why I kind of color code price levels. So, for example, if I put this as a blue level here, okay, that reminds me that this is going to be closer or deeper into a daily, higher up into a daily supply. So we have impulse, correction, impulse move down. Okay, so this level right in here, the upper levels up here, 5600 to 5625, this is going to be a better one. Why? Because that is going to be more aligned with the higher time frame supply as well, daily being daily. Okay, so you see how that box just got drawn out there. Okay, so just to give you some reference. All right. Now, moving forward here, okay, if price does break below the Globex low of 54.77 and I look below current price, okay, we do have a decent one here. You might want to write this down, 5425. Okay, 5425 S&P futures and 5400. Naturally, just an even number there. Okay, this is going to be fairly decent for a Globex trap bullish. Okay, so again, 5425 and 5400. Okay, so we get the quarter and then we get the even number there. All right, that's not too bad there. If you want to just take a quick peek at this down in here, we have the weeklies demand in here. Okay, this one deeper down here. These ones are going to be better here into weekly. Okay, 53. So I'm actually hoping S&Ps drop more deeper into this weekly level so we can get some more liquidity and get lower prices to start to rotate back macro bull into this market, but I'm not sure if that's going to be happening here today, hitting S&P's futures 5,300 today. Probably not going to be the case. Okay, so these ones are going to be, I'd say, more realistic, doable potentially today, if in the event this market does continue to fade lower. Okay. 5425, 5400. I did mark this off. Be careful with this one of 5464 or 3, I should say. Rounding down. This is a demand level, yeah, but it's going to be aggressive and it's not as reliable. So I'd be careful with this one. All right, so I put an asterisk on that, aggressive. A fairly decent Globex trap long, albeit yes, but just be careful with this level. Some of my phantoms know we might want to wait for what's called a positive CRG, which is a bit more of a confirmational backside entry on liquidity. In the event on these aggressive levels here. Okay, it was also noteworthy that it was developed or formed during the overnight session. Okay, so it's not as powerful as levels that are formed during the regular trading hour session. Okay, so you can put a pin on that. I'm going to do NASDAQ next. Let me just click over to NASDAQ. NASDAQ futures. Okay, very similar. Get straight to the point here. Globex high, Globex low. Yesterday was a massive inside day. Markets were not trendy at all. And that could be the case too as well potentially today. Try to train traders to not think and fail, but to not to think about what the market's going to do and fail on trade off what you think is going to happen or intuition and trade what you see and what is happening. So we try not to formulate a subconscious bias before market open. Okay, but typically, okay, the stats would suggest that typically a couple of days before Fed, like being today, Monday and Tuesday, and yesterday being Monday, today being Tuesday, Wednesday, tomorrow being Fed, typically the market's kind of like in a stage of like, okay, let's wait and see what's kind of what the Fed's going to do. Okay, so just take that for a grain of salt. Okay, we'll see. Today could be a breakout day above or below, and we would have to trade accordingly to that. Okay, but yesterday. It was like one of those days where you can go long, you can go short, you can go long, you can go short. It was just inside day. Okay, when we talk about what an inside day is with more time. Getting straight to the point here, Globex trap. I mean, pretty simple up here. 19,720, 19,810. This is going to be some decent little supply areas above here. Okay, for some Globex trap shorts to be bearish, which we just discussed. If I go to the daily time frame, which one is going to be better up here? Well, the deeper one up here is going to be better because it has to do with the higher time frames here. Okay, yes, Asher, nothing but tape, baby. We rip tape. Okay, I am a tape ripper from New York City, and that's what I try to train folks to be as well. Okay, I don't care if it goes up, I don't care if it goes down, I don't care if it goes sideways. Okay, I'll get it any which way. Okay, no biased, no opinions, no thoughts, strategy, executions. Okay, executions over emotions, baby. Okay, execution over emotions. Don't get me started, y'all. All right, don't get me started right now. Yeah, tomorrow will be my last day on the microphone for a little while, and then I'm moving. Yeah, Thursday, Friday, I'm out. So tomorrow's my last day, and then I'm disconnecting from the internet and incognito for 2 days. All right. So wish me luck. Wish me luck. All right, cool. So the deeper one up here, supply. Okay, which one is going to be better? Well, I have a higher time frame confluence with the upper one up here in blue. Okay, and that's why I color code certain things. So when I see supply demand level and I just highlight that in blue, that makes me remember that okay, it's a daily supply level. Okay, so here's a 60-minute supply level on level. If you ever heard Mr. Black on TikTok. Okay, level on level, level on level, or in essentials for my phantoms. Okay, but this one is not going to be as or confluenced, okay, with the 19,945 up into the 2,000 area in NASDAQ because this is going to be the daily supply zone. So this one has a higher confluence or multiple things lined up here. Okay. All right. Keep my phone so y'all know where I am. Yeah. I'll check in with y'all every state so y'all know if I get kidnapped. Uh, crossing Delaware, crossing Virginia. If I go now below current price, okay, I'm zooming out here. All right, there's Globex low here. There's really nothing right here to stop the Nasdaq to go down, so be careful here. Okay, so I have to kind of zone down into that weekly level here on Nasdaq. Okay, there's a massive weekly level right here. Switch over to the higher time frame weekly here in the middle. So I went back to the 60. Now, if I kind of scroll back and zoom into this area right here, I'm just going to zoom in. Okay. You might want to write these down. Okay, there's some demand zones right in here, some IBIs as we call it. Okay, phantoms, institutional level of demand. Okay, so we have IBI here. So you put the letters or the numbers in black here so y'all can see in the background here. 18,800. That will be a good one right in here. Okay, 18,740. Okay, I also have pinned 18,560 down in here as well. And then last but not least, we got what 18,000. Call it 487. Okay, I'll just round that up to 490 just to keep numbers kind of simple here. Okay, and what I'm doing is, again, this is taught more with more time and due diligence. Okay, how do we know what levels to pick off inside of the weekly level of demand? Okay, we're going to look for prime, fresh IBIs. So there's a couple of them in here. Okay, and those are the prices that represent that as well. Okay. Now, usually I'd go over oil and gold. I'm going to probably save a little time here. I'd go over oil futures and gold futures as well. I'll do that quickly. I do want to make a note that oil futures have been quite rangy, monthly, weekly, daily. Okay, rangy, rangy, rangy. We've been kind of picking off levels here in oil. This is oil futures. We did have, so, we came from, range, monthly here, middle range. All right, momentum is down here. Okay, momentum's down. We had 4 weeks up coming into this weekly supply, which we pinned and nailed very well. Okay, and then we're coming down. We're coming back down. So just mid-range on weeklies and monthlies. So up, down. Sounds like a market, right? So momentum is down. We did have this weekly level down in here, also with a daily level IPI right in here as well to the left. Okay, we got Super Dave in here. Has been working off this level here, working off this level. Okay, it broke. Okay, it broke. All right. Bounce, just could not fall through up, Okay, we have a couple of candle fakey breakies down in here. It just could not get, no buyers could not pick this back up. Okay, so then we have a negative CRG close, and then as you can see, even oil today is breaking this demand zone lower down here. So oil could potentially be getting lower here because there's really nothing to stop price up in this down into this lower range, down into here. Okay, so momentum is going to be on the still remaining on the downside. Okay, of said oil moving over to the 60-minute time frame here. Okay, you can see, we've had lower low, lower high on the 60-minute time frame, downtrend. Okay, Globex high, Globex lows here. Okay, here, and this is getting kind of crazy here with all the lines here. So Globex low here. All right, so you might want to, sell short supply. Okay, as markets rallying up into supply. Switch these lines here. This is supposed to be Globex high here. Okay, Globex low that just kind of got put in. All right, so we're making new lows here. So this is going to be bottom cover exit. Okay, so let it correct up. Oil, I would pin this area up here. It's not the greatest level in the world, but if I just update this, of course, that level right here, 78.80, still going to be valid there. That never hit. That's also a sign of bearishness if you can't even get hit on supply on small time frames. This is a lot of time spent here, a lot of wick. I do see an IBI right here that could be a bit of a nice little trap right here. This is IBI, institutional order flow supply right here. So you might want to pin this here, 77880. Okay, 7780. Okay. Now, although it seems like it might not get up there, okay, oil moves. Okay, so this level is going to be really obvious, and this is not a fresh prime level here. Okay, so yeah, I would say pin the 77.80 because if this market continues to come up here, okay, it might find some liquidity up here, actually trapping not only Globex traders breaking out to the upside, but also up here we have a daily high as well, and there we have an IBI right above that. Okay, so that might be a decent little action of play right there to trap. Okay, to get bearish. Okay, short, and then also 78.80 as well is going to be still on the board here today in the event that it gets up there. Okay, I'm not sure if that one's going to happen today, but this one definitely maybe today, tomorrow could maybe come into play. Okay, to engage bearishness. Gold. Okay, got my eye on gold. Charts kind of crazy here. Monthly, weekly, daily here. Monthly, weekly, daily. All right, macro bullish on gold. Macro bullish on gold. This is gold futures. Okay, you know the daily made all-time highs. Well, the gold made all-time highs a couple weeks ago. Pulled back pretty fierce in here. So you know this is a you know uptrend, yes, but it's very you know even on the bigger time frames here on the weeklies and dailies. It's a very slow kind of grindy mess with steep pullbacks here. So be very you know be conditioned. We talk about big you know three things in addition to supply demand. Okay, talk about you know the big three things, meaning location. Where are we on the higher time frames, high or low? Okay, on the monthly time frames, supply demand, how we high or low in terms of location. We talk about condition. What kind of condition are we in? Are we in a range condition or a trend condition? If it's a trend condition, is it a fast moving trend or is it a slow grindy moving trend? Okay, uptrend and downtrend. Okay, or is it fast or slow? Range, is it range? Is it a wide range or is it narrow range? Okay, and then the third thing would be structure. Okay, within the location and the condition, what is the structure? Higher high, higher low, uptrend. How steep are the pullbacks? Okay, steeper the pullbacks, the less fast the trend is. Okay, the more shallow pullbacks, the more faster trends are. So there's a lot of things that you have to analyze. Okay, based on market condition. Okay, and so I'm just kind of giving you all some hints that. That probably might not be the best time with the time that we only have here today with an hour. Okay, but that is discussed. We did talk about this level yesterday with the phantoms in here. I'm not sure if anybody took this, but this level worked out. This level worked out pretty well here. Okay, on a Globex trap. So what would be one today? So Globex trap down here. I had this level right here, 23.95. This is not really a level here, but this is what's called a gap. And a lot of people, what will happen is they'll try to fill this gap. They'll try to chase this gap. If markets come down, they'll try to chase this, okay, and fill this gap. And then that's where a trap could potentially be. Okay, so I already know that people are probably going to have 2,400 pinned. And if gold futures drop below 2,400, you know, some short sellers are probably going to say, oh man, this gap, it's done. The gold is done, and it's going to fill this gap. And then they get trapped, and then it mean reverse. Okay, so 23.95. It's kind of weird because there's no level right here. Okay, but I'm just going off of a kind of psychology trap, just because I've been doing this for quite some time. Okay, and I've done plenty of that where I try to fill this gap and go short, and then I get annihilated. Okay, so if you know, you know, right? Supply, I'd be careful with these up here, but this one's still fairly decent. Okay, I have 24.60 and I have 24.70 up here. Okay, just remember gold's still in a macro bullish uptrend here. Okay, so you know you can still kind of take these, but this is still going to be representative. You know, this is still going to be a counter trend trade on the macro picture. So just be careful with these levels. Okay, so be very diligent here. But like I said, you know, gold, albeit it's been macro up, but we've been getting steeper pullbacks. Okay, so I have a couple levels here still planned down here, but that would have to do with a swing trade that's probably not going to be happening here today. Okay, all right, so we'll probably talk about that if and when we even get down here at some point. Right now we have to cross this bridge up here before we get down to that bridge down there. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna got 15 minutes before the market opens here. Okay, I'm gonna transition a bit. So that was kind of futures, S&P, NASDAQ, a little bit of gold and oil here. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to trading view here. And one of the first things that you want to check, or that I always recommend to check, is what's called the VIX, the volatility index, the fear greed gauge, if you will. To keep it short and sweet, it's the implied vol of SPX options for 30 days out. But the key thing that you need to understand right now, without going into too much detail right now, is that you know, if the VIX is rallying up or spiking up, okay, markets are going to be typically coming down, okay, fading down. If VIX is down and crashing down, or coming down, I shouldn't say crashing down, but coming down, or VIX is down, you know, 5, 6, 7, 10%, okay, that's typically going to be a signal that markets are bullish. okay, for the day potentially, okay, for the week, etc. Okay, so we look at this on a shorter time frame, and we also look at this on a macro time frame, years and years and years out. Okay, so VIX has been spiking a little bit recently over the past 2 weeks with this market pullback correction. Okay, but we have to put that into perspective. It's like, oh my God, is this market going to be in a bear market right now? No. Okay, relax. If you scale out and look back over years and years and years of data, okay, we're still very low, relatively speaking. Okay, this was COVID. This was a crash. Okay, markets dropped, sub 30%, 20%, give or take, in a couple of weeks. Okay, during that COVID, that's a crash. Okay, a flash crash, essentially. Okay, all right, we're not there. We're not doing that right now. Okay, so yeah, one of the things that we want to map out too is going to be the overnight high and overnight low of Fed VIX. So that's what I'm going to do right now, just really quickly. These two lines. There's the overnight high. Overnight low is right here. VIX opened over here. Okay, so again, and I just kind of pin kind of 3 ellipses here. One kind of where it is, the last time I saw it, which is like right here. Okay, and then I'll pin, something like this, just really quick. Like, okay, if we continue to rally in VIX, that could be more bearish for the market. If we continue to dump down, okay, VIX is down, it's 0.72%, very small right now, nothing too crazy. Okay, but if the VIX continues to drop down after the bell open and get some trend down, okay, then that's going to let me know what again, give me more edge in terms of, okay, VIX down, market up. Okay, VIX up, market down. All right, spies. All right, there's a couple other things that we do here, a lot more things, and we build a lot of options, ladders, and matrix and things like that. Not enough time to do that right now. We got 14 minutes before open here. So what I'm going to do is just kind of go through really quickly a couple of the gaps, okay? Let you know whether there's going to be a inside or outside gap. And I'm going to go through FANG. I know there's a lot of stocks out there, okay? But if you're really new here into the YouTube channel, I like to focus on the FANG stocks, Apple, Amazon, Google, Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, the big stocks, okay? Because I know the options are very liquid, the tight spread, things like that, right? So when you trade options, you want to make sure that you have liquidity, all right? So if I'm just going to take a quick little sip of water here. If you are really new and you want to, if this is kind of floating your boat here and you want to learn a little bit more about that, go to TradePhantoms.com, okay? Click the register button there if you like. All right, August 1st, which is this Thursday, already into August there, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, 2 days away, name, email, great. You'll get sent the link. 90-minute session hosted by either Mr. Green or Mr. Black. Usually they even do that together to help. Okay, and that will kind of let y'all know about if interested. If not, that's fine as well. How things, how phantoms are laid out, this company's laid out, and how markets work from all professional traders. Mr. Black, Mr. Green, Mr. Blue, myself, we all hail from the professional side. More trained as a market maker, as mentioned. Okay, all markets, stocks, futures, forex, options, crypto. Okay, all the way down from short-term day trading. Okay, to long-term. I'm talking like 20 years out, wealth management. So we kind of it's a one-stop shop for everything trading. And anybody who knows me, that's literally my love. Okay, multiple directions, up, down, sideways. It doesn't matter which way to go. If you trade options, you can even trade even when the markets are going sideways. Okay. Yesterday, I had to adapt to the market, and I stopped getting directional in the market, and I went to sell a lot of SPX credits because the market was going sideways on an inside day. Okay. That being said, all right, spies, we have close here, daily time frame. So I'm just going to kind of sift through this very quickly, but in the next 10 minutes before market open here, and then of course, as always, if I see a valid setup, I will take that. I'll take that live with y'all here. Okay. Yesterday's close here, great. We have a slight gap up here today. Inside gap. Okay. Now be careful today. We were talking about this yesterday with the Phantoms. This is what's called an inside. This is what's called the mother bar here. Okay. Mother bar here. And the Friday. Okay. This is Thursday's bar. Thursday's daily bar right here that I circled here. Okay. It better be packing my luck. So far, I just had earnings. Yeah, let me just check that real quick. Get that out. This is a big earnings week too. SoFi Technologies just had earnings. It looks like it did a whole lot of nothing. Looks like it's only gapping up about 2%. That's nothing. at least in my world. Yeah, this stock's kind of weird here. Yeah, not much. Slight gap up 2%. That's nothing. I usually like earnings of big movers like 10, 15, 20%. Let's see. All right, so we have to be cautious here. Here's why. The Thursday bar or candle, okay, is what's called the mother bar. Okay, so Friday was an inside bar, and then yesterday was an inside bar, and yesterday wasn't even an inside bar of Friday's bar. Okay, so just be careful. Okay, usually on inside days, the market could be a bit more choppy. Okay, so I represented yesterday's high, yesterday's low in blue here. Okay, last week's high, last week's low in yellow, and then I just put the purple line here, purple line here. Okay, just to represent that Thursday mother bar here. Okay, so we need to break this mother bar. Okay, with any with some authority. Okay, we have a couple of gap fills up here. Okay, if I had more time, we go through all this kind of stuff. Okay, we have sessions and things like that. Okay, in the trade room, I spend hours and hours, sometimes the whole trading day, with the folks in there. Okay, but I gotta keep it moving. We got 9 minutes till open here. Qs. All right, Qs. Yesterday's high, yesterday's low. We have slight gap up right here, inside gap again. Kind of inside of Thursday's bar. Yesterday, I was trying to see if yesterday it gave the benefit of the doubt to see if the Q is going to pop. If the Q is going to pop, okay, it was basing, and then it just did not pop. Remained inside day of mother bar on Thursday, and then closed. Ding, 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 right? So slight gap up, nothing too crazy here. I did notice, I think tech, hold on a second. I think tech is the one that has a bit of the stronger XLK. Financials. So right now, tech financials, it's pretty even across the board. So we got actually financials, XLF are a bit more the stronger, just pre-market. Actually, real estate, but real estate, the options. There's not a lot of options on this XLRE fund here. So real estate's one of the stronger ones too this morning. Just checking the pre-market quote there. All right, I just wanted to get that an idea of that. All right, so slight gap up. We're gonna see how the intraday tape pans out here. Apple, I did notice Apple. Okay, Apple. We talk about long desk, short desk, right? So bullish or bearish. So Apple does have an outside gap. Okay, so we have close here. I'm not sure if you can see the yellow there, but the pre-market quote 219.66. Okay, so it's an outside gap, yes. However, we still are inside. That is still an inside gap of the mother bar, as I just mentioned with the S&Ps. So you're going to hear that often, probably for the first day or 2 or 3 with the Fed, being Wednesday tomorrow with this. Okay, so even though it's an outside gap, I do like it because it is an outside gap, but that outside gap is inside of that Thursday mother bar as suggested. Okay, Apple is kind of in a decent area location. Okay, nice if I scale out a bit. Okay, obviously clearly uptrend. Okay, impulse correction. Okay, so it is in a decent area. I'm just drawing this extremely quick. Okay, like I'm talking extremely quick here because we don't have time to. Okay, it is in a decent area here, on a pullback, right? So we talk about fade VWAP. Okay, we talk about VWAPs and all that kind of stuff, right? Beyond the scope of this session here. So you might want to know your fades, right? Know your VWAPs, and we can use this fade VWAP all-time high in Apple as a reference to if this gives out, the buyers are going to pick it back up. Okay, so I'm actually hoping that this comes down a bit more lower for Apple. I want markets to come down. It's not what I want though. That's the thing. Okay, but I'm not nervous at all for this market to continue to fade lower, coming down deeper into some weeklies and monthlies as mentioned. So Apple, same thing, right? I'm not going to repeat that, but same thing. Okay, and then that fade will come lower here, and then we could pick up some longer term buys down here. Okay, so we just talk about the macro and micro. Okay, higher time frames and lower time frames. All right. All right, just moving on here. All right, doing it very quickly here. Amazon. All right, be careful with Amazon. It's kind of wicky. It's been wicking around here. Yesterday's high, yesterday's low. It's going to be an inside gap. Not to sound cheesy, but this could kind of go anywhere. Okay, but make sure the intraday tape is going to pan out. Okay, the setup. We look for setups off the open. Okay, we have very specific things that we want to look for. Okay, in terms of a gap. Okay, key takeaway. Not that strong of a gap here. It'd be better if it was outside gap, maybe gap and above. Okay, yesterday's high. Okay, and if this was even a nice little more of a red bar there, but we don't have that. So just be cautious, just be a little careful with that. I do like the Google here. Google did come deeper into the weekly. Google did come deeper into weeklies here. Okay. I like that. Okay, we have a weekly gap up. Okay, on this. And I do like the candle yesterday. I'm sorry, the day before on Friday. It was a nice little doji, and in a good location, which is good. Yesterday had a nice gap up off of here, and so as in terms of a gap, it's still an inside gap. It's still an inside gap, but I'm loving how it came nice. It dropped like a rock down into this weekly here. All right, and we have a nice little rotation here. So potentially Google could be on the list as well, and it's an outside bar. Okay, this is Thursday's bar. Okay, but then we had an outside bar here, then we have an outside bar here. So Google might have some legs potentially. Just make sure that the intraday tape is satisfying that as well. I'm gonna skip over Tesla a bit. Yesterday we had a nice trade in Tesla, though. I gotta admit, it was a nice one there. Needed that. So I like the way it gapped up, and we held above this red bar here. So we had a nice little positive, what's called positive COG. And I think it's time to just delete these level of lines here. I'm gonna do that after, but this was earnings that I was wrong on, by the way. At Phantoms, we don't hide losers. Okay, all right. So I just took a 1% loss on earnings, kept it moving, and then yesterday we had a stellar day. Okay, stellar day in Tesla. Actually, it was the bigger win yesterday, which was good. Anyways, today it might be able to continue with that. Okay, just because yesterday was a good day does not mean it's going to continue to go up. But the thing about this is there's nothing really to stop price because there's a gap up here. So gap fill up here. So it's like here and here, but you don't want to cut through. Okay, with these big gaps, we talk a lot about this. This is like if you were to fill that space in, this is like one big speed bar here. Okay, wide range bar. So this has some wiggle room. Okay, this has some wiggle room. We got monthly view up here too that the markets might want to attract to mean reversion. Okay, so yeah, bullish on Tesla in the event that the intraday tape lines up. Meta, careful with Meta. It's been kind of a wick trapping people. Okay, and it's not as clean as other FANG stocks, but it's kind of Meta kind of does its own thing here. So just be careful with this one. As far as long story short here, no gap at all. So there's really nothing to lean against in terms of a gap. Yesterday's high, yesterday's low is here. This is if markets maybe fade lower. Okay, VIX spikes and S&Ps and Nasdaq are below its VWAP for the day, daily VWAP. Meta might be a more of a bearish ticker. Okay, now that could change intraday. Okay, but just looking at the gaps so far, of telling what I see, Meta is a bit more bearish. Okay, versus something like Google and Apple. Okay, Microsoft. Another one that I love to trade. I'm actually hoping and wanting Microsoft to actually come deeper, just to give you a quick little outlook of macro. I would love Microsoft to come lower down in here on the monthlies and weeklies, as mentioned. Okay, so again, a lot of these markets pulled back, and they're in a decent location here. Okay, but as I mentioned, I'm seeing if we can get a little bit more lower. This would be beautiful for a nice little swing down here. Okay, I think Microsoft earnings are tonight, right? Yeah. Is it tonight? Yeah, it is tonight. Yep, tonight. So usually, I like to play these earnings. I'll see what I can do here. I'll try to for my Phantoms. I'll see what I can cook up for y'all, but I can't make any promises just because I'm literally in the middle of a move in 2 days, and it's a big move from a different state. So. I don't want to make any false promises, but I'll see what I can cook up for y'all and type it into the chat. Fair enough? There's Asher, Microsoft. But for today, open for day trading before that, because earnings are tonight, the side gap up, inside gap here. All right, again, not to sound too cheesy, but can kind of go anywhere. Just make sure the intraday tape is lined up. This could be a bit more quiet potentially as earnings are coming up. So kind of like the calm before the storm type deal. Nvidia, I took a loss on Nvidia yesterday that I had to make up with SPX options. It was in the pre-market. It was a lot of volume and things like that. I took a shot on a bullish trade above VWAP, did not follow through, and then it just fell out and I had to cut out for a loss. So just be careful with small caps, not small caps, semiconductors, okay? And then AMD as well. There's a lower level down here that we were looking to sell some options on, and that's still going to be looking good. All right, market's just opened here. So let me just take a quick peek at the internals really briefly. Be patient. Go back to Thinkorswim here. We've got Apple, Google, at least in terms of the gap, and Tesla, in terms of the gap pre-market, were a bit more the stronger ones. We'll see if that continues or develops. Let's see, let me just take a quick peek at what's called the internals, okay? VIX is still just a little bit calm, too early for a cumulative tick here. All right, I discussed this in detail with a couple of classes that we have. All right, there's SPYs. Advanced declines, positive 1,000. So it's, it's up, but it's not extreme. Extreme would be plus or minus 18 to 2,000. Okay, so we're fairly up there. But yesterday we did gap up like that too. Okay, and then we faded lower all day. Okay, so we'll see if that holds there. Vol D, another one of my favorite internals. The first print is not in just yet. This is 2 minutes here, but sorry, 5 minutes here. So we'll see. But right now it's printing a 1.92 ratio. Extreme is going to be plus or minus 3. So it's more closer to extreme than not. And VIX is dropping down just a little bit there. All right, so Google I know is off the top of the list there. Pre-market quote. Okay, in Google, I got the 30-minute here, got the 60-minute here, I got the 5 here, and I got the 2 here. Okay, let's see. This bar is going to close in about 7 seconds. I do like this little wide range bar off open on Google. JP Morgan financials were a bit more stronger today as well. Now, JP Morgan does have a bit of a what's called a shock value gap, a pain gap here, because we closed red bar here, gap up, macro picture up. Okay, so JP Morgan has a nice, decent little shock gap there. All right, so JP Morgan, Google looks good here. All right, I'm gonna get long Google here. So long call Google. All right, August 2nd expiration here. And this is yesterday's trade. So today, if I get this one down here, the call, the 175 call, this is going for about a $1.50, $1.50 on the bottom one there, 175 strike. Okay, still good here. Wide range bar off open. All right, so if you pick up the 175 strike call in Google, August 2nd expiration for a day trade. I repeat, this would be just a quick little day trade here. All right, so I'm going to fill this myself personally. All right, just got filled at what? Basically 145 here. All right, usually I'll just put a line there to represent that really quickly. All right, so long call Google. JP Morgan as well. Anybody snag JP Morgan? Still good to go here. So JP Morgan long call. Wide range bar off open. If you pick up the 215 August 2nd day trade here, they're going for about a $1.80. So I'm gonna go long call here. JP Morgan, JPM ticker. 215 strike. All right. Just got filled at 177. Okay, long call. Okay, just put that line there to just pin that. right, Meta. Let's see, Meta's trying here. Wide range bar on the 2 is off open here. This is going to close on the 5-minute 2. We have it. You know, Meta wasn't in the greatest location in the high time frames, but it's holding its bit of a range here from yesterday, and printing a nice wide range bar off open here. So interesting. So Meta might be having some. I'm not sure if we're going to break out on this today. But it's worth a, you know, it's giving a setup, and that's the thing. You don't want to trade what you think can fail. You gotta trade what you see there, and Meta. So Meta, not bad here. Yep, I think earnings are coming out too. So the implied vol is fairly high. So the options might be a little bit more expensive than normal. So you might want to be careful with this one. So especially on free YouTube, I want to be a little careful here. These options are expensive right now because implied vol, because earnings are coming up. So you see implied volatility right there. So I want to be really careful with this one here, especially on YouTube. Okay. All right, these options are really you know, high IV right now, high implied vol. So you know, I'm not trying to shy anybody away from it, but I just want to be extremely careful here because I'm not going to be here to trade and manage that risk with y'all full and through. Okay, but just to make a note, okay, I do that in the live trade room where we go all day. All right, let's see. Google pulling back just a little bit there. Actually, probably was a spike little profitability there, but still early. Spies, Qs. Let's see. Looking fairly decent. I know Apple looked decent on the gap, but no follow through just yet on that. Apple could potentially develop if we break this red bar here, positive CFG. Microsoft kind of hanging out. All right, so Google's kind of clicking to the upside here. All right, maybe scale out with some Google here, just doing it live on YouTube here because I got only an hour to be with y'all here today. All right. All right, so I need a little bit more of a pump there. So I bought these for 145. They're only going for 146. So we'll see if we get a little bit more of a move here. It's above where we bought it, but we need some options pump there. All right, here to check spies. Pull some VWAPs. Be patient, folks, okay? Remember, inside day, inside day, inside day. So, of course, we want to give the benefit of the doubt to the market of potentially breaking out. Yeah, I'm actually long Disney. We got long Disney yesterday. Bought some calls and sold some bull put credit spreads with the team. All right, we are above daily VWAP here on spies. We do have JOLTS data as well coming out at about 10 a.m. Eastern, so there's going to be some data coming out. Okay. So just remember that. So we got a 2-minute time frame on the left, just pulling a VWAP. We got a daily time frame on the right. So you might want to be extremely patient here today, this morning. You know, we got Google working here. One of the stronger ones here is mentioned on pre-market. All right, I'm still trying to work there. Tesla complete fade. Off open. And Meta, we talked a little bit about this. This is a slightly bullish setup, but you want to be really careful with that one. Microsoft too, I believe we have earnings coming up. Nvidia's long put here. Looks like. Let me verify. This would be better if it wasn't so wiki down here. But Nvidia as you know, one of my faves. But this looks like it has a negative COG. JP Morgan trying to print there. Google trying to print there. Nvidia. Long put bearish. Let's see. Fall through from yesterday. Potentially. Yep, I'm long JP Morgan. I'm long JP Morgan. We've got a nice little continuation pattern there. I'm long JP Morgan. Okay, they're trying to print a little bit there, but we need a little bit more pump there. It's very early, but it's going in the right direction there. Let's see, what am I doing with Nvidia here? We could try to work off this here. We could try to work off this negative COG below VWAP. The only challenge is we're still inside of the opening day's range, kind of wick, and then wick here. But we could try to work off this. We might be able to get a nice little. It'll be low risk. If we're wrong, we could be wrong very small. So I like the stop loss placement that we can put up here. Okay, so it's all about risk management, right? So let's see. So if I were to look at some risk here on ticker Nvidia, this was yesterday's small loss here. Let me see the put. The SPYs are holding up a little bit of bids here, so it's trying to buck the trend here for the day so far. So we could try to work on this. Let's see, if I were to buy a put, on this one, I want to keep it a little bit lower risk. Maybe I'd pick up like a 43 delta, 38 delta. If I pick up the 109, those are going for about $2.14. Okay, just lower the delta just a little bit here. But that might not be too bad. Don't get upset if this doesn't work out and fall through. Just get out if we have stop loss here, 112, call it 20. All right, we just cut out of it if wrong. So that's what I like about it, is that risk definement is fairly tight here. Okay, if you want to elect to take this right here, the 109 strike put for about 210. All right, I'll pick some of those up just really quick. I'll probably maybe do like half risk on this, maybe half size. Where's the 109? I can see, SPYs are holding up some kind of bids right now, meaning up. But again, we have that news coming out in about 20 minutes. So, all right, for the record, I just got filled at 210 on the premium price of the 109 strike put August 2nd. Okay. All right, so long put bearish. All right, stop loss, get out, 112.20, just get out, cut it, wrong. Okay. It's kind of weird that AMD is actually up while Nvidia is down, kind of sketchy. Google, trying to work out here. JP Morgan as well. Oh, Apple actually, anybody snag Apples on my Phantoms while I was looking at Nvidia? We took out this red bar here, positive COG. So Apple took a nice little pump. All right. We see Microsoft. Let's see, Microsoft 2. It's above its opening bar print here. All right, Nvidia, nice. Hit that short. Let's take profit on some Nvidia here. All right, 210 to 247. TP some. Take profit. TP takes profit on some Nvidia. All right. Nice little bump there, just on YouTube here. All right. So you got to keep it moving. Yesterday I took a small loss on this, and then just now working on it. So I just took some out here for profits at I got filled at 242. All right, still in. They're going for about 250s right now. All right, it's on lows. I can even scale out here more. All right, nice little pump down here. Let me TP some more here. Take profit more on Nvidia. 280 from 210 to 280. So let me on a low delta. So let me take some here. All right, nice. I just got filled 289 here. All right, anybody take Nvidia short? That's what we call TP. TP Timmy. All right, but coming off a little loss of Nvidia yesterday, so you know, in the internet, a lot of people don't admit that, but at Phantoms, you know, we're real. Okay, I'm TP a bit more here too as well on this. So let me see if I can get that $3 print here on Nvidia short. All right, so just kind of scaling out. All right, nice, up a full buck on it. I got 310 on that fill, so from 210 to 310, there we go. All right, keep it moving. Okay. Now we could, you know, we could start to trail our stop too, trade management wise. Okay, start to trail our stop. Okay, lower that risk. All right, so not a bad, nice little move there. All right, nice. JP Morgan trying here. We could try to TP some JP Morgan. I'm not sure if the premium is going to be pumping as much as something like Nvidia, but let's see. All right, it's above. All right, we could scale out of some JP Morgan, take some profit on JP Morgan too, from 177 to what, sub $2 here. Quick little scalp. My time is already up. I didn't even look at the timer, but so I'm only supposed to spend about an hour with y'all in here. So JP Morgan long, taking some profit right now. Okay. Bought these at 177, just sold some at 197. All right. They're going for about $2 here. I'll even take that too. I'll take that $2 print. Remember, we have some news coming out at 10. Okay. All right, well, I got, actually, they gave me 201 print on that, so I'll take that. All right, so that blue line we got in, long call, and then we just TP'd, take profit here. Profit. If I could spell. I can see SPYs doing nothing, doji bar. All right, took profit twice there. AMD bucking the trend, where there. All right, can y'all see screen? I think I have to go because I think I have to go, folks. Unfortunately, I'm well over the time here. What do you think about an ad on crowd stock in the next monthly weekly daily demand zone? Enter on crowd. Let's see. Q's inside bar right now. Be careful trading Q's and SPYs. Inside day. So just be careful with that. CRWD is that crowd. Not bad. That is a massive monthly bar close that's happening though in 2 days. So it's getting, this might not be done yet, Santo. Front side is, you'll get the good price. I like the Rising 20. I like the little weekly level here. But you know, this looks like it might want to be coming lower. It seems like it might want to be coming lower. This is pretty fierce here. Okay, we still got some outside gaps here. So yeah, they might be gunning here, down here potentially. So if you're getting in the front side, just be careful with that. You know, you'll get some good prices, but you know, front side is you're getting in on, you know, steam bullet train down. Okay, so this thing and that monthly bar right there is going to be closing. So you typically going to get at least some form of fall through off that type of bar there. Okay. All right. Google looks like it's going to have to just be a cut. We're breaking below yesterday's low, so Google's, I might just have to cut this here right now. There's no fall through on it. So it'll be a cut. All right, so actually, cut out. Let me just check what Qs and SPYs. I mean, SPYs are not really going to tell me much. Let me check internals really quickly. SPYs and Qs, they're just still parked in the inside bar here. You know, we got news, so I'm just going to have to, maybe it looks like it's going to have to cut Google. Advanced declines are improving for news. Cumulative tick up. Vol D ratio printing at 2.3. VIX on an uptick, but still, you know, not taking out overnight highs or anything like that. Negative COG on SPYs. So yeah, Google's gonna have to be a cut. All right, Google's gonna be a cut. All right, cut. So out Google. There might be a couple things that I might be able to do here, but I'm already overdue time here, so I'm not going to be able to manage that with y'all. So I'll just cut that. Okay, for the record here, cut that. Got out at 99. Okay. All right. So that's what we do. You know, here is we don't BS. Okay. We show losers when we're wrong. All right. All right, so out of the two trades, you know, 2 wins, 1 loser. We'll see. All right, last thing, somebody had mentioned, just check MU real quick. MU, I feel like we went over MU like so many times. Okay, we're coming down deeper into some monthlies. All right, check your monthlies and weeklies, folks. Simple stuff. Simple stuff. Some of my phantoms, right? Check your monthlies, weeklies. I got this level down here. We already went over this, right? Got a monthly level here. It's not the greatest level in the world. Monthly, weekly, kind of daily. Okay. Typically, you get a stronger bounce or move off of the daily 200. So this might be coming lower. This market might not be done, folks. So this one has a nice little level right down in here. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if they snag below this monthly low, negative bar here, hammer bar on monthlies here. So there might be some continuation off these negative COG bars on monthlies that might push August into a deeper pullback. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, then we have this is a nice clean chart, may I add. You know, we got monthlies and weeklies. We got weeklies down in here. We got level on level down in here. Nice gap fill. So this is good. You know, stocks can always come lower. All right, stocks can always come lower. All right, and you know, stocks can come lower. So we have 96 and we have 85. Nice little gap fill right there. And then this is also confluent with the rising 20 period moving average on the monthly. Okay, so there's a bit more confluence down here. So I'd almost make this orange. So if I were to just copy and paste this line right here. All right. That's what it's kind of looking like right there. Monthly low, deeper into weekly demand as well. Confluence 90. So I got a lot of confluence here at the price point 90 on MU. Okay. All right, and I wouldn't be surprised if they pump this lower because of that negative COG bar that's going to be printing here in the next 2 days, because August 1st is Thursday. So today and then tomorrow's the last day of July. Okay, so these monthly bars are going to be pinned, closed. It's a wrap now on to July. So make sure you get to your screens, okay, and see how last month has closed. That's going to give you some insight. Make sense? All right, folks, I got to go. If you're really new, all right, NVIDIA, boom, okay. I'm in NVIDIA still. I cut Google out, loss, and I'm still in JP Morgan as well. Okay, if you want to learn a little bit more about that, all right, where I spend a lot more time, not just an hour. Okay, I spend multiple hours, sometimes the whole day with the folks in with Phantoms. Okay, in the team. Okay, go to TradePhantoms.com. Okay, click that register button. That will bring you to this page here. Okay, put your name, email, and you can get registered for a kind of 90-day class on Thursday, August 1, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, fresh on the month, new month. All right, 2 days from now. And here's just a syllabus, if you will, of what's going to be covered, how markets work, how professionals, we're all professionals here, Mr. Black, Mr. Green, Mr. Blue, myself, okay, multi-direction, up, down, sideways, all types of markets, not just stock, not just Forex, everything, one-stop shop, okay, stock, futures, Forex, options, day trading, okay, scalping, S&P, gold, futures, okay, very quick, all the way to wealth management, and I'm talking planning for the next, generational wealth for your family moving forward, okay? All right, markets are a beautiful thing. Appreciate them. I love them so much. I'm so grateful that I've learned the right way to do this. It's a life-changing thing if you let it, but it takes work. It takes time. This is not a get-rich-quick bullshit scheme. Oh, excuse me, I'm not supposed to swear. Okay, there's no BS. Okay, we train and looking for real people who are serious about taking their trading and investing to the next level. Okay, all right, and growing as a human being. Okay, trading aside as well. All right, that being said, folks, I'll see some of y'all today in class later. Okay, we have one more training session on Wednesday, as y'all know, from my Phantoms. Okay, then I got to log out for a little bit, for a couple days, and then into the new location, and we're going to be back at it even better. Better, bigger, faster, stronger. Okay, next week. All right, Fed tomorrow for you new folks in here. Okay, so make sure you have your risk managed. All right, folks, God bless. Take care. Trade safe for the rest of the day. News at 10 a.m. Eastern in about 5 minutes, so put that on your dock. Okay? God bless. Blue out.